In today's video, guys, I will show you this Memento deck profile, post Banlist and burst protocol in-depth deck profile. I'm going to explain the reasoning behind every card that I'm playing in main deck, in extra deck, and side deck, and yeah, and the idea of this deck post Banlist and burst protocol. So yeah, without wasting any more time, let's get right into it. For our main deck right here, we have 3 copies of Anguish, 3 copies of In-Deprh, 2 copies of the Darkblade, and 2 copies of the Goblin. So these are our main starters. I would say everything here gets you to full combo. The sad part is that I am currently experiencing right now. We have too much normal summons, and that has been always the case with Memento. Basically, I'm trying to figure out some way to make this deck not that normal summon reliant, because no deck has, I think, like the same number of normal summons as we do, because we also have Mace and Sleepy, which can be normal summon and breaks in our hand, and that's the reason why I'm trying to solve that. So we have Mace, Sleepy, these 3, these two, which put us to 9 normal summons, which is really bad. But like if one of these gets stopped, no normal summons does something else. Like if you get stopped on Darkblade and you have Sleep in hand, it does nothing. Maybe reducing this to 1 or just upping the deck count with a Radiant Typhoon version. I'll maybe do a Radiant Typhoon testing. I never actually done testing, but I know the theory of the deck and stuff. So this would be the lineup for Memento monsters. I'm trying to like figure out if this is cuttable. I seen a list with this cuttable and they were successful. So yeah, I'm not honestly surprised. And you would not play 3 fusion, I will say, if you cut this, because you have less names in your deck, and I think it doesn't really make sense. But I'm testing currently this one, and it's not really that bad. If you have 2 normal summons and fusion is like really good, or bone party and stuff. So yeah, it's kind of adaptable, and the reason behind these ratios is, as I said, to not have that many normal summons and to have extenders. So I think this is minimal with Anguish cutting to 2. So I think this is the perfect ratio. So you have to play this at 3. I mean, or you can play one Darkblade 3 Anguish as well, if you really like. So that would be it for our monsters. Right here, we can now go into our spells, engine spells, I believe. So we have 3 Boom Party. This is mandatory. You kind of know it. We have 3 Grand Breakout. I think this card can be cut too if you want to. I think you actually can like cut this one for like 1 Mulcharmy or 2 Mulcharmies, because it's better to see going second instead of one of these like Mulcharmy and stuff. I mean, Perulia Defolos is mandatory in the main deck, of course. We have 2 Fusion. The reason behind this is that we don't have really that many names in the deck. And seeing this card now in the Jackatil format, going second isn't really that good. Going first is insane. But we have like more cards to solve that. We have Bone Party, we have Grand Breakout, we have the Prosperity, 1 for 1, as well as a copy of our field spell. So that puts us to 5 bricks in our main deck, I believe. So Maze, Sleepy. I mean, Sleepy is not a brick, will not. Like, it's a semi-brick as well as the Maze, but Maze is kind of bad to normal summon because it doesn't really get you to combo. So Maze, Akihiron, Gaddick, Command Christian, and this, which is 5 bricks. And if you like put up the deck count with the Radiant Typhoon version, it would be like, you'll see those cards really rarely, I would say. 1 for 1 is basically good for us going first, since we are playing Mulcharmies. It's not really that good going second, but it can be good if you like stop your opponent and like have only 2 pushes, because we are playing some spoilers, we are playing some hand traps here and trying to stop our opponents. So yeah, I think this is perfect. Prosperity is good because we don't really need anything in a side deck from like we don't need Incursion Kings, Twin Dragon, and SP really on our person, and Herald. We can manage a lot of other stuff, and we have Typhon, for example. So yeah, I think I explained every ratio. This can be cut too. I'm going to update deck lists much like often right now, not regularly as I do only on events, because I am going to test these online a lot these days and tell you what are the results. We have 3 Mulcharmy Follows. This is the best card in the game right now, going second, I believe. At least I think, and a lot of other people and pros say that it is. I really like this card because we can draw into our engine, and our engine is sometimes enough to break half board because people really don't want to play into this that hard. And if people play Branded Fusion, it is really, really good for us. And they play bad into fools. We have 3 Ash. Ash is good for most armies, obviously. And Ash is actually good against some Dracotail builds like Ash in the Rahu, Ash in the Branded Fusion against Branded, because Branded will, I think, be popular. It is a fan favorite deck, I can say, because a lot of people like lore and stuff. So yeah, I think it is really good. And in the like combination with the Impermanence, which we are playing, it is really nice. Ash Imperm, it literally sometimes can beat our deck if we don't have third extender, but yeah. So we also have that 3 Imperm. It is good going first and going second. If you see like Joe Cool or Evil Another to spare summon your opponent activates, you just save this honestly for your turn if it is only hand trap, because it will not really do anything. Just like Imperm the against the Krishna, for example, level 5 Cyber Dragon that negates, only negate. I think it is the best option if your opponent like goes Joggle, because you have no way at winning. I mean, hand trapping that going second. If this is your only hand trap, we have to draw on Logbird because this card is semi-limited. I think it is actually bad for us that this card is semi-limited, because we don't really lose this card. I have some guides, by the way, watch that if you don't know how to play for this card, because it is still real, like 2-off is a good ratio. Some people are like even playing 2-offs before this Banlist. So yeah, this makes them do half boards. We have 3 Fallen Virtues that I don't currently have a physical copy of. I'll put a card on screen right now, don't worry. You probably already see it, but the reason is I'm gonna just put talents here for the context. So we have 15 non-engine here, as you can see. With the, I think this is 40 card deck, 40 card clear. This is the maximum I think I can put in, and I think this deck list is really, really nice. The idea with these, for example, drawing these 2 is insane. Drawing Joel and Ash is insane. Drawing Imperm, drawing I mean hand traps with the football is insane. Like if you get 2 or 3 draws and then drawing to Joel, and then your opponent like starts searching, for example, deck that are really losing into Joel, it can be it can come up. I mean, you have Fallen Virtues for you to break half boards and to like keep fighting on the next turn. And Fallen Virtues is really good also. Like if you have, for example, Anguish, as well as the Sleepy, and that's the reason why some people are buffing the Sleepy right now, is because if you have these 2 in hand, like people are playing more Sleepies, because if you have Anguish and your Anguish gets stopped, Sleepy wouldn't do anything. But if you have Fallen Virtues, you can show your own Anguish, and then your Sleepy will be alive. And you get also Fallen Virtues on your opponent's turn, which is really good. So that's the reason why some people are playing these cards, and I think this is kind of like mandatory in the Memento right now. And if you're playing like the Radiant Typhoon version, it is really good. Like I will play Droplet. I'm gonna do the deck profile for the Radiant Typhoon version, but it'll probably be online because I don't have these cards at me currently. So yeah, and also the reason why we are not playing the Cold Bite, for example, the main deck that is in the side, is because that Cold Bite is really bad going second, and this card can be good going first and going second. And we don't really particularly need to stop any of hand traps, because like True Protective Talents, we can just look into their hand and rip the card off, because it is like high chance that we have an extender in our hand. So it is really good for that reason in our deck specifically. So yeah, that would be it for the non-engine / hand traps cards. We can get into our extra deck right now. An extra deck is kind of the same as usual, but I have some new cards. So we have 3 of the Creation King. I still really like this card at 3. I always said if you can play this card at 3, play it. So for example, I'm gonna just show you. So you have 2 of these. You go through 2 of these in your combo. 1 banish for a field spell and 1 for the combo, which ends up in a graveyard most of the time. And you revive it off of the Command Creation, of course. Let me just Find it, yeah. So you arrived at command creation. If your opponent has, for example, fallen and emerges, to show this, you don't have anything to use it on. So it is just destroyed, and you can't really revive it, except if you destroy this with one party and then revive with a field spell. But it isn't really worth it, since you want to revive this off of the field spell on your combo. So you have the third, which you can go in with the Anguish, and Anguish can with the Sleepy and Anguish, when you do one party, destroy the Horn Dragon and a lot of chainlings, you can go into this instead of the Twin Dragon, and this can actually send the Gaelic as well as the Mace and third card, and you'll be able to get basically the same number of things as you would get with the Twin Dragon. So for that reason, I think the third one is really good if you can fit it, but it doesn't happen always, as I said, or if it gets dropleted before it activates its effect, you can go into third easily. So yeah, that's the reason why I think 3 are kinda really good, and they can come up in this next format really often. So next we have one Twin Dragon. This is kind of standard. I mean, it has always been on one. I think I never needed the second copy, and I've been satisfied with one copy. It is essential for a combo, but for example, Unicorn can rip it out, but we don't lose the game, and Castillo cards aren't really popular right now. For next fusions, we have Juxtapelia, really good card. You can make it as an endboard piece sometimes. You can make it also going second. Like if you have a lot of things going for you, and not only Twin Dragon, you can make this, for example, with fusion. I've seen people do it against me on the Omega. YGO Omega. I've seen some really good Memento players, to be honest, on the Omega. With Memento, I may show replays, but yeah, let's continue. Guardian Chimera, you almost always pair summon this with Fusion on your opponent's turn. I think this is mandatory in your extra deck. And we also have the, this is meant to be Secretarian, not Mysterion, but Mysterion is also a card that we can summon. But the Secretarian is better card. I would put on screen right now, you probably know it. It is really good against the Dracotail branded and any branded spellcasters. So yeah, and its second effect can always come up because we have dragons and spellcasters in the form of Horn Dragon and the Anguish, of course. So next, I think that is it. Oh, we also have the 2 Albions. I'll put the card on the screen. I don't have it in me. I borrowed these for Witches package. We have 2 Albions. You can fit in the third if you want to use all 3 instead of the Charmers. I'll show, but yeah, essentially, if you don't know, you use Fallen Virtues, send Albion, and Albion can reset in the end phase to have an opponent's turn another one. So yeah, it is really good for that reason. Now we go into our links. We have Artemis, mainly to make our SP with the Anguish and the Horse. For example, I've had a situation where I was kind of floodgated with the, what is called the new day, the Anacraft. So I know some of the Anguish, search for the Horse, and Horse effect to summon. So the SP is really good against the deck Anacraft because you banish one monster they control, face-on monster they control, and you also banish another because they will flip and add card to their hand. But if you chain SP, they'll not get their flip effect because it's in the next chain. So that's the reason why SP is really good, and it gets rid of 2 cards. So there's the reason why I'm playing Artemis. So to check them with just Anguish, 1 Anguish plus that search Horse. So next we have the Lina and the Dark. I think both of these are really good, but you can cut one that you see less coming out for you in this format for the third of this if you really want it. So this is good against Yami, Dracotail. I think they have lights. Branded has also lights, Guam, Cartesia, I believe. And Dark is good against the same deck, and we can use it against Wenkristol, Christian, or maybe not Christian K9. I mean, I think they have some Darks probably, and most of the extra deck cards are Dark. So yeah, for the last 2 cards we have the Herald. That is I always set up this if I can because it is spell trap negate, and we can the only bad thing is that negates activation. But if your opponent goes Brand Opening, discard 1 card, and spell summon Aluber search Brand Fusion, and you negate Brand Fusion, they go -2, I believe, because they literally have 4 cards in hand and 2 of their cards did literally nothing. And I think we can like go into grind game with that deck. And we have the Typhon. I don't really know if Typhon is good in our deck, to be honest. It is like good in these grindy games, but you can maybe just punch this out of our deck and fit in the third one. I didn't really know. I mean, I don't really. It comes out 1 in 20 games, but it's good in our actual deck. We can also bench out of Prosperity, and it isn't really important. So while I'm showing this, we can also do what do you bench for Prosperity. So going first, if you can set up the Herald, you'll not obviously banish it. So going first, if you're not playing against Darktail, banish this, banish 2 Charmers, banish the Artemis. Banish Typhon. I mean, this is going first. Sorry, this is here also. And banish one of these 2. Or if you don't have Poland, which is sending higher, and banish the other one. Other Albion. But maybe you'll draw it in the grind game and it's useless then. So banish one of these 2. Like Stapelia doesn't really come up that often. So you have these 9 cards that are essential. And going second. Let me just put them right here on the same spot. Just Stapelia was here. It doesn't really matter. Going second, if you don't plan on using Typhon, so you banish the Typhon, that's one. If you don't have all in the Witches cards, just banish these 2. Banish the Mysterion, banish the Stapelia, and banish the Herald, since you'll probably not make it. You have these cards, and these cards will push good going second, and I think this is kind of nice. Just to clarify, these are 6 cards. So yeah, that would be it for our extra deck. We can now go into our side deck, of course. And side deck is kind of interchangeable, but I'll come up with this. I'm gonna go for. I mean, you already have seen this, but I'll reveal last because these are going first cards. So for our going second cards, we have the 3. Maybe you're the final being. This is the side in. Like I'm probably gonna make the video for deciding patterns, separate video. But you'll essentially side out this one of this. I mean, you'll side out this going second, and you'll side out this going second for 3 nib, putting you to 18 non-engine. Or if Fallen the Virtues doesn't really do anything against your opponent's deck, you can side out these 3 and keep some engine in the main deck. So yeah, sorry, this is in our side deck still, because these cards aren't really that essential for us going second. I think you can't really banish. I mean, side out something else. If you really like the Anguish, you can. I mean, Anguish is kind of better going second because it's not ignition effect. It's on summon effect, but it is kind of interchangeable, I would say. And if some hand jobs suck against your opponent's deck, like Imperm against any aircraft, side out that. But any aircraft is good into hand jobs that we play, so it is kind of not the good example for this. So let me continue with our side deck. I think this is So we had 3 Retaliating Sea. This is good against us. Sadly, we suffer some collateral damage off of this. But yeah, this is also good against Branded, good against Draco Tail, good against Lunalight, I believe. Yeah, good against many fusion decks that use spell cards to cheat out some cards from their deck. So yeah, I really like this card, and we can get rid of it easily. For example, if you have this and Anguish, this on the field, so you resolve it. We know some Anguish search for the horse, of course, and you keep this in hand. You go this into an Artemis. You go this into SP. And SP, if your opponent doesn't have literally anything on the board, like they don't have options, SP can banish itself for the horse to be able to special summon. But if you special summon the SP and target something to banish, your opponent will probably chain something, and you can chain banish SP and that card. So the horse can be special summoned anyways, if your opponent has a board. But if it doesn't have a board, banish itself, so horse will be able to special summon itself. So let me continue with the deck list. Side deck. So we have 3, Forbidden Droplet, of course. I really like this card, and I think it's really good against some decks. Going second, I didn't want to, because if I put in this instead of some hand traps do not really. I mean, if I put the Droplet instead of the Imperms, I mean, if you like have Ash and Droplet, it's not really good because Ash probably won't really do anything alone, and Droplet will not negate their whole ward. You have to banish another monster, so that puts you to 3 cards in hand. But if you have these, you probably will stop your opponent and force them into making a half ward. So yeah, that's the reason why I don't really like the Droplet. And if you're going Border Breaker build, Border Breaker type post side, I think you're going full Border Breaker. So next we have 3 Evilly Matched. This is good against, I think, Branded. Dracodale doesn't set up Omni Negates. Correct me if I'm wrong. Or Dracodale alone. And this can be kind of good because they have Gulamel, the Arthalion, yeah. They have 3 traps. And with this, you only put them to 1 card. So I think this card is really good in the format and really sleeper build. Sleeper pick, I mean. And it is good against our deck also. It can be good. And good against some other, like Wanker Soul, if they don't set up the Omni Negate, which Imperm can help us with that. For the going first cards, we have Solemn Judgment, we have the Cold by the Grave, and we have One Dragon. We always side this going first. Instead of also, these 3 go in the place of Molcharmies, of course, because Molcharmies do not do anything. And this is the only thing that we need going first. And if a deck is like, if Joel is useless, if Imperm is useless against the deck, if Fallen Under Witches are useless, you side one of these. So yeah, it's good for that reason. I think I explained everything. Sorry, I think I explained everything, every card in this deck list. I think this deck list is really good. This can also be like there can be only one, or another card that stops hand traps like Cross Out. But I think Soulsborne Judgment is really good going first. Like if your opponent like hand traps you 3 times and stops you, this can probably stop them. So yeah, I hope you liked today's video, and if you have any other suggestions for my future videos, comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one.